I can just get straight into it. There was one question here that just scrolled through. I didn't see who it was from, but the question was, how do I get to play against you? Well, you have to have Bowling by Jason Belmonte downloaded on your phone, and you need to go into the one-on-one tab, which I'm going to tap right now. And basically, I'm going to select either the pro room or any of these other rooms randomly. And if I just so happen to draw you in that room, then we play against each other, trying to make it as random as possible. So like always, I like to start somewhere a little easier. So I'm going to go Great Wall, and we'll see who my first opponent is. Hopefully they are abiding by the rules straight away. So we've got Linda Shank. Unfortunately, Linda doesn't have the gold card active, so she's not going to have a chance to win the ball, but maybe I can just get a bit of a warm-up game here. That's an interesting leave. Really, a 2, 4, 7, 6, 10? Okay, well, let's try and spare it. I might get 2. Okay. So, too bad for Linda. She doesn't have the gold card, but she still gets to play against me and still have a chance to increase her game score there, so she can be one of those 10 winners to win Belmo coins. While I'm having my little warm-up game, I'll answer some of your questions here. We've got, let's see, Ryan Komar says, Belmo, when's the tourney starting? Mate, it's starting like now. Like I'm literally playing against Linda. Linda hasn't got off to a great start, but that's okay, Linda, because neither did I. Oh, come on, fall over. I've been really working hard on my spares, by the way. I've been practicing a lot more since the last time that I played against you guys. So I'm anticipating a much better performance from myself. It's going to be a little harder for you guys to beat me, but I felt like I was really embarrassing myself playing my game, missing nearly every spare. So I've decided to work hard on my spares. All right, Linda's got off to a better start here in the second frame. She's got a tennis ball happening. All right, nice. Leaving just the 3-pin coming in a little high. Linda, that was a terrible attempt at a spare, so I can't really find any positives out of that shot for you. I'm sorry. All right, I think that's going to be a good shot right there. All right, I found my little line. Now I know where I'm going. Feel like I'm getting a good little warm-up game in here. Ryan Johnson says, I actually already have the drive ball. I really love it. I've bowled over 190 most of the time with it, and I'm only 14, so I really like the ball. Ryan, that's awesome. I love the drive too. It is a really, really cool ball. And when collaborating that ball with Storm, we added that R2S nano technology to the cover. And why I love that cover on the ball so much is because it still has that R2S, one of our most famous cover stocks ever made, the cover that we put on the high road, arguably the greatest ball ever made. The nanotechnology into it allows us to get a little bit of an earlier roll than a high road. So when the lanes are a little bit more difficult, when the lanes are probably a little bit more fresh on the back end, the drive really calms that down. So you're not going to lose too much, power through the pins. That R2S cover is going to get you to get a nice, at least a relatively good amount of length down the lane, but that nanotech will just blend out the pattern a little bit more to make it a little bit more controllable. And that's honestly where I think I'm going to use the drive a lot, is when I really want to control that down lane motion, but I still want a little length out of the ball. So almost beat Linda here. She's still struggling, needs to find her line here on the grey wall. Meanwhile, oh, that's a little slower. Meanwhile, I was just about to say, meanwhile, I feel confident moving into my next game. All right, that looks like a good spare. And we'll finish off this game. Move it a little left, see what happens. All right. All right, Linda, thank you for playing. You didn't get a chance to win, but hopefully, well, you've helped me get the practice game under my belt. Here's a cool question. Seth Brom says, how do you use the high road in real life? That's an interesting question. The high road in real life, or in the game for that matter, I use it a lot when the lanes have considerably broken down. When I need a lot more length out of the ball, when the lanes are a little drier in the mid part of the lane, I like to use something with that R2S cover. Typically, the high road out of the box comes a little shiny too, so you get even more length out of it. And that's typically when I like to use it. Usually late into a block. There wouldn't be too many tournaments in my life when I haven't used the high road or used the R2S cover at some point in the event. It's just such an amazing cover to use later in the blocks.